Can you picture this? A man who once commanded the stage with fire, fog, and fury, now sitting in a quiet room, listening not to the roar of fans or the scream of guitars, but to the sound of almost nothing at all. It sounds unreal, but that's Alice Cooper today. At 77, the rock legend who used to make headlines for being outrageous, intense, and untouchable is now facing something even more powerful than fame ever was: silence. He's gone deaf in one ear, and the other one is barely hanging on. For someone whose life has revolved around sound, the rise of chords, the rhythm of drums, the voices of fans chanting his name, that kind of silence isn't just inconvenient. It's devastating. It's like losing a part of his identity. And what's even harder is what comes with that silence. When the noise fades, the mind starts talking louder. The thoughts, the memories, the things you've been too busy or too scared to face, they all rise to the surface. For Alice, it's not just about hearing loss. It's about something much bigger. Something much darker. It's about fear. Not fear of losing fans. Not fear of getting old. Not even fear of dying. It's fear of what comes after. Hell. Yes. The man who dressed like a vampire, swung fake axes, and brought nightmares to life on stage is now deeply, personally afraid of hell. And the terrifying part? He's not acting. He's not trying to sell another album. He's not promoting a horror movie. This is Alice Cooper, the real man, stripped of theatrics, speaking with genuine, painful honesty. He's afraid. And that fear has grown louder with age, as the world around him has grown quieter. Let's rewind for a moment. It didn't all happen at once. The hearing loss started gradually. Like so many musicians, Alice assumed it was just part of the package: decades of loudspeakers, screaming fans, and high-volume chaos. It made sense, right? Just wear and tear from the rock and roll lifestyle. But then the hearing loss became more than just a dull moment or an echo that faded too fast. One day, he realized one ear was completely gone. Not muffled. Not weak. Gone. And that hit differently. Because sound wasn't just something he enjoyed. It was his life. It was his language. His identity. He connected with fans through it. He shaped his world with it. Now, imagine what it feels like to step onto a stage where you can no longer fully hear the music that made you a legend. The crowd is cheering, the band is playing, but inside your own head, there's just a flat line of silence. No one prepares you for that. No one tells you that fame doesn't shield you from the weight of time. And when the shows are over, when the applause dies down, and when you're alone in a hotel room at night, that silence can feel like it's pressing in from all sides. That's what Alice is living with now. The quiet has become constant. And in that quiet, his fears have come out of hiding. Alice Cooper, the man who once snarled and strutted across stages like a creature from the underworld, now lays awake worrying about the very thing he once mocked on stage: hell. He's not doing it for drama. This isn't a comeback plot or a marketing trick. This is real. The truth is, when you spend most of your life building a brand that plays with the darkness, even if it's all show, you sometimes forget how close you've danced to the edge. Alice knows that now. He's admitted it. Behind the smoke and skeletons and shock, there was a real man doing real damage, to his body, to his mind, to people in his life. And now that he's in his late 70s, he's starting to count the cost. He's starting to question. What if it wasn't all just pretend? What if there really is a place like that? And if there is, did he earn himself a seat? You can hear it in his voice when he talks, the hesitation. The wait. The small, careful way he speaks about the afterlife now. There's no more bravado. No more cocky punchlines. Just reflection. The silence didn't just make him listen to his fears. It also made him remember. The drugs. The drinking. The chaos. The people he hurt. The years he wasted. The things he can't undo. Because, let's be honest, Alice Cooper didn't just play a wild man on stage. He lived like one. For decades, he was the definition of excess. If there was a line, he crossed it. If there was a rule, he broke it. And if there was a way to feel more alive, he chased it, no matter the cost. But when you're young, the cost feels invisible. You don't see it. You don't feel it. You think you'll live forever. That's the lie fame tells you. That's the trick. Until one day, it isn't. Until you wake up and realize you can't hear, your friends are gone, your body hurts, and the person staring back at you in the mirror isn't the same wild rebel from your posters. That's what Alice is dealing with now. That's his reality. And it's not just about getting older. It's about getting real. Because underneath all the noise and neon, he's still human. And lately, he's been trying to clean it all up. He's been making changes, some big, some quiet. He stopped drinking. That's a big one. For years, alcohol was part of his identity. Part of the show. But now he wants clarity. He wants control. He wants to face whatever's next with a clear mind. He's also returned to faith. Quietly. Privately. No sermons. No stages. Just him and the questions he can no longer ignore. He said it himself, if you believe in God, you've got to believe in the devil. That thought doesn't leave him. It lingers. It whispers in the quiet. Especially when he's alone. And lately, he's been alone a lot more than people realize. The rock star lifestyle doesn't age gracefully. It fades. And when it does, it leaves behind a space most people don't know how to fill. Alice is trying to fill that space with something more meaningful. He talks about forgiveness now. He talks about grace. He talks about making things right. Not just with the world, but with himself. With his past. With the people he hurt. And with the God he once ignored. That's not something you expect to hear from the guy who made a career out of mocking religion and lighting up the stage like a haunted house. But maybe that's why it hits so hard. Because it's not about PR. It's not about sales. It's about a man trying to find peace before it's too late. And in that, Alice Cooper has become something more than a rock star. He's become a mirror. A reminder that no matter how big you get, how loud your life is, or how many people scream your name, you can't run forever. You can't escape silence. You can't avoid reflection. And eventually, you'll have to answer the same questions we all do. Where am I going? What have I done? And is there time to make it right? So what now? He's still performing. Still touring. Still painting his eyes black and strumming guitars and giving fans that classic Alice Cooper show. But it's different now. If you watch closely, you'll see it. The way he pauses before a song. The way he looks at the crowd a little longer. The way he seems just a little more grateful. Because he knows this could be the last tour. The last round. The final encore. He knows time is catching up. And so is the truth. The truth is, Alice Cooper's story isn't just about music. It's about legacy. It's about consequence. It's about what happens when the curtain falls and the noise dies down, and all that's left is the silence. And in that silence, we all hear the same questions. Did I live right? Did I love well? And what will I face when the music stops? Alice doesn't have all the answers. But at least now, he's asking the questions. And maybe that's what matters most. Maybe that's what being human is really about. Maybe it's not about having it all figured out. Maybe it's about finally being honest with yourself. Because whether you're a rock legend or just a regular person living a quiet life, eventually, you'll reach that same point. Where you look back. where you listen closely, and where you wonder what's next. So the next time you hear an old Alice Cooper song, pause for a second. Not to judge. Not to mourn. But to reflect. Because behind every scream on that record, there's a real voice. A real man. With real fear. And real hope. And that's what makes his story worth telling. Because maybe, just maybe, we'll all find ourselves in that silence one day. Asking the same questions. Looking for the same answers. And hoping, just like Alice Cooper, that it's not too late to find peace.